Hi everyone. Thank you for joining and watching this video. This is the first podcast that we're having for Popcorn Therapy, and here we are going to do a deep dive of the movie of this season, Dhurandhar. We're going to speak a little bit about both the parts, but mostly about Dhurandhar: The Revenge. Go a little bit deep dive into the character analysis, maybe do some scene analysis as well. Finally, we'll speak a little bit about another movie which had made a lot of noise and a lot of controversy, but it was a big hit. It was Animal, but we'll very mildly touch on it. It will be mostly around deep dive around Dhurandhar. And to discuss that, we have a lovely person with us. Her name is Shruti Batra, and she is a B2B marketer, the founder of White Space Thinking, which is a marketing studio based in Austin. She's a working mom, energetic Punjabi, and more than everything else, she's a patriotic Indian. So, hi, Shruti. Thank you so much for joining the podcast and lovely to see you.
Yeah, thanks, Anton. It's a very new opportunity for me. Like you said, I'm a more of a B2B professional, so most of my online conversations have been focused more on those topics. It's the first time I'm discussing something like this, but I think after a long time, we are experiencing something like this. Um,
Yes.
ये नया इंडिया है तो हम भी कुछ नया ट्राई कर रहे हैं.
Nee, nee, absolutely. And I also forgot to mention that you are a movie enthusiast as well. Like you watch a lot of films, you have a lot of ideas and a lot of insights, which honestly speaking, a lot of good reviewers or critics can also not be able to figure it out, but you have those. And
Oh,
while
thank
discussing
you.
with you, we actually figured, I sort of
Yeah.
understood that.
Thank you so much for saying that. Well, yes, I have been, I think, very enticed by movies and television and everything that goes with it for a long time. I think even as a kid, I used to get teased by some of my elders कि इसको टीवी देखना बहुत अच्छा लगता है. Fortunately, it didn't come in the way of my education, but yes. Um, so for me, when after moving especially to the US, I've gone from somebody who would take 3 days to watch one episode of, say, Grey's Anatomy to somebody who can finish the whole season in 2 days. Like it just has been that's how life is. It just sometimes give you these newer opportunities to Netflix and chill, and so here I am.
Yes, yes. Just that you brought Arjun Rampal and Dhurandhar right now. Obviously, the topic is more around Dhurandhar. So I know that you watched Dhurandhar, so I'm not going to ask did you watch it or not. You watched the both parts, and the great part is it's there in Austin. You mentioned about few of the theaters that it has released in.
Yeah.
Your first reactions, like when you
So
actually
there is
got
a
out from
small
the theater. Yeah,
story.
sorry. Yeah,
Sorry, there's a small
yeah,
story about me watching Dhurandhar also. So typically, I'm not too fond of the new genre of violent movies that are coming in. Violent series that are coming in. So while
yeah.
I'm a big Game of Thrones fan and I enjoyed Sacred Games. I've not seen a lot of these Pushpas and the KGFs and the animals. Uh, Not completely seen. Maybe I've seen parts of it. And most of the time, I would like get up from the room and go and fix my cupboard. That was a far more enjoyable activity than watching. And I had the same opinion about Dhurandhar. So I was in India when
Yeah.
Dhurandhar released. So fortunately, I got to see the whole frenzy. Everybody in my family, almost everybody, had gone and seen it. I had not. I chose to remain at home. I saw Dhurandhar somewhere mid to late February on Netflix after much cajoling from my husband. He's like, देख ले यार अब तो second part आ रहा है, please देख ले. And when I started watching, I was a big in my while I never said it out loud, and mentally I was a skeptic. I was like, हाँ अभी मैं जाकर ना खाना बनाने वाली हूँ, अभी जाकर अलमारी ठीक करने वाली हूँ because it's going to get too violent. But then the movie starts, and I'm at a point where Rehman, the cat, kills his dad, so quote unquote dad. And I'm still there. I haven't left. And that's when I knew I was hooked. Like, that's like really a gruesome scene.
Yes,
But I'm
it
still
is.
there. And I had to rewatch it because my first half, I was totally like, हाँ, अभी तो मैं उठने वाली हूँ.
because of
So
the
I hadn't
violences, right?
absorbed a lot of stuff. So I
Yeah.
had to rewatch at least the first part to like
Ah,
ठीक है अब ठीक से दिखते हैं because
ah,
it is worth a watch. And by the end of it, I was a fan. And the second part, I'm more than a fan. Like I think there is so much that everybody can take off from that movie.
yeah. I completely agree. And so, did you like the second part better or the first part better? Like, if I have
Oh,
to
that's
sort
a
of
very
compare it
hard
there.
question. Like my son liked the first part better. My husband liked the second part better. I think I like the whole thing. It you can't take say one is better than the other.
Yeah,
It's very difficult.
yeah.
Sorry for a diplomatic answer, but
No, no, no. It's absolutely okay. And I like my wife like the first part better because of Akshay Khanna. Maybe a lot of people said that we missed Akshay Khanna in the second part, but I like both part equally. Like I can't compare in general. I really
yeah,
like
yeah.
both of them. Maybe the songs in the first part were a little better, but I can't complain. At least a few of the songs in
Actually,
the
my
second part
favorite
were not.
number is Jaya Sajana.
Oh, that's
In
the part, second
all the
part.
two
Yeah,
movies. I don't know, somehow.
yeah,
It's just like an Ari is, oh God.
yeah. We are hearing all these songs coming back, right? Like the Karwa song
And I
also
am
in the first
so
part.
glad. Like,
Sharpest
Hawa
Saddev
Hawa was a
has.
song released when I was in grade 5. And my son listens
It's
to it
just
now.
amusing.
So it's like,
Yeah, just reminiscing the old days. And
yes,
so when
yes.
you watched it the first time, I know about your opinion, but did it shift maybe gradually after maybe 3 4 days you start to analyze a little bit and maybe you started to like it better, or you might have started to, I won't say hate, but you might have thought that okay, these are the missing points, maybe they could have adjusted it much more better. But like, has your opinion shifted from the initial reaction that I actually had when you came out of the theater for the second part?
Okay, so I'm not a student of cinema. So for me to comment on that, what could have been better, I think it would be not fair. I think it's very easy for us to sit and criticize somebody's labor of love. We all do that. I'm
Yeah,
guilty of it as well. But then I'm not a student of this particular field. So to sit and criticize or say this could have been done better, a masterpiece like this could have been done better, I will
yeah,
refrain from that. What has shifted, I think I have started to see some of these positive things which were not very apparent. Like this is a violent movie, gruesome violent movie, centered around men of crime
yeah,
and
right.
not just petty thieves of crimes, like the men of crime.
Yeah,
Yet these men are not shown with like to carry so much of respect for the people around them, for their own cause. Whether the cause is right or wrong is a different story, but just they respect their own cause
right.
and they respect themselves, which is, I think, has slowly dawned to me. Like, even the most negative characters, which you would love to hate, I think somewhere shows, demonstrates that very, very respectful part of himself or herself. There is very rarely a herself in this movie, but still. So
So
that I think
coming to
that
the
has been the
hers,
shift.
yeah, yeah, I agree. And coming to the herself thing, I actually spoke to you about that we wanted to initially do a podcast around the Vanga's movies, Sandeep Reddy Vanga's movies versus Aditya Thar's movies, and in general, like how they treat men in general. But obviously, we sort of tried to refrain because we don't want to give Vanga too much of importance, just to be very
I
straightforwardly
have not
honest.
even seen those movies properly.
Exactly. That's also one point.
So I've not seen Kabir Singh by choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have seen parts of Animal because it
Yes.
was running at home. I tried to because of the frenzy. When I left, then it was running. So I have seen parts of Animal.
Yes.
I do. Okay, I know while we were not trying to draw a comparison, and there is no comparison. Dhurandhar is a spy drama running between a set of gangsters, and like some of the
Hmm.
most gruesome gangsters. Maybe they are not the Russian mafia, but like they are what they are. Uh, what were you expecting in a gangster movie? Like Hum Saath Saath Hain? So it is going to be
Yeah.
gruesome, right?
Yeah. A lot of the
But
critics have told इतना violence, इतना violence. यार तुम क्या
but
expect कर रहे थे? पूजा
and
होगा,
war में और
मंदिर
क्या
होगा,
होता
क्या होगा?
है? हाँ, गैंग वॉर में बैठ के टेबल्स तो नहीं कराने वाले हैं ना, लाइक और क्या
Exactly.
होगा, राइट?
Exactly.
बट इन एनिमल, those people are supposed to be some of the best industrialists in the country. They're
Exactly.
supposed to be in a city like Delhi. Imagine you are
Yeah.
one of the best industrialists in the country. Their son walks into a hotel into a Delhi, even if they own it, with gunmen and like kill their own family members, and then there is no noise about it. Like, really?
Yeah, there were no police actually. He killed like so many 100 and 200 people. No police came, nothing came.
Like, really? He's not a professional killer. He's supposed to be a
Yes,
professional industrialist. He's
correct.
supposed to be focusing on, he should be focusing on expansion, on import,
Yeah,
export. If the story was
correct.
about how good, bad, ugly the import export happens by an industrialist, I would have still made more sense. But what is the was the movie about? Like,
Yeah.
the fact that an industrialist can avenge his father or something by picking out guns. Like I see heard women justify. नहीं वो ना अपने पापा के लिए कर रहा था ना. Yeah, I also love my dad.
मुझे और एक प्रॉब्लम हुआ इस मूवी से कि पापा के लिए कर
मुझे
रहा
तो
था, बट
आता भी नहीं
पापा
है
के
गन
लिए
चलाना. लाइक एज एन
हाँ
इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट उसको गन चलाना कैसे आता है?
आता है. Exactly. And he takes a gun first day when he was in school or college to protect his sister or
हाँ.
something. What अजीब, मतलब कहाँ से मिला फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, तुम्हें किसने लाइसेंस दिया, कहाँ
And
से
it's an
मिल गया तुम
AK-47. I think it's
AK-47
an
आके इधर करके.
AK-47.
Yeah, I think so. The sound seems like that. Weird movie. Like I can go on and on to speak about the flaws that movie has. It's a poorly made film. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
It's a very,
So
very poorly made.
Jaskirat's character here has a gun, and you've shown how he gets the access to the gun.
Correct.
Right? He's gone
Exactly.
to a goon
Yes.
to
Based out of
procure
Uttar
that
Pradesh. Correct.
gun through a very
Correct.
illegal channel. Yes, but he's going to do something illegal. And how does he know how to run the gun? Because he's being
Because he
trained,
was training further.
right? So there is a logical
Exactly.
connection.
Yeah.
How does Ranvijay know all this? He was supposed to be in the US studying to be a pilot.
Correct.
Like that kind of weaponry, I don't think anybody even carries in Texas.
I
Though
mean,
it's legal to
people
carry
don't
weapons
think
here.
about all the, yeah, people just don't think about all these things. And then I mentioned about, and we were discussing about it yesterday. So mentioning about that heart surgery after killing so many people, he had a heart
I
surgery and
don't think I
suddenly
went
he's
till
walking.
there. I think I
Oh,
stopped after
please
his
don't
heart
even go,
surgery.
because I saw that scene. I was thinking, what is happening? Like, anyhow, crazy, absolutely poorly made film, and people are making so much money. The reason why I wanted to bring it up, and I think we can discuss it in later once you have seen the movie, and I hope you don't, but still, in case if you ever see, then we can discuss. But yeah, it's just a very poorly made film in general.
I
Anyhow,
rewatched
let's
Dhurandhar
move ahead.
instead. I have no problem watching
Yes, please
either
do.
of the
Please do. It's a
Dhurandhars.
much better film.
Rather
Please
do
do.
that. And
Please do.
so, going back to your earlier question about the men in Dhurandhar. Okay, so the men in Dhurandhar are wannabe terrorists,
Yes.
terrorist trainers, gang leaders, corrupt politicians, and of course spies. That
Yes.
kind of sums up, and a very very gruesome policeman who's trying to actually uphold the law. Like I know he's
Yeah.
been painted as a villain, but
Yeah.
so this is the kind of the universe. Having said that, like I said, a lot of these men show so much respect. And if it's okay, I can share a few examples.
Please, please.
Okay, so let's take Rehman the Cat. He's like he's Shere Baluch, the king of Liari, right? His entry happens when his son dies, and
Yes.
then in a few minutes his wife walks in. What does she do? The first thing, you give him a tight slap.
Yeah.
Like you see Hamza's character stunned, you see
Yes.
Donga stunned, but then this guy doesn't flinch. What he does is hugs her, and they cry together.
Yeah.
There was no nothing ki, how dare you behave like this with me in front of my team?
Correct.
And the team doesn't judge the couple. They grieve. They grieve very publicly. And the people around them allow them to grieve. So that it
Exactly.
shows that that's the equation that they have formed. That's the culture that they have formed within that team. That you're okay to let your guard down and you will not be judged. Your leadership skills, your strength of character, your strength of decision making is not going to be judged because you let your guard down on a day when something such a bad thing happens with you. And you're also not
Exactly.
stopped from celebrating something. Which the second thing which I saw in this character is that he's like an uncrowned leader, and you see Uzair, his brother, talking with such pride about him. And this is not Ramayan, he's not Lakshman, but somewhere Rehman has earned that kind of a respect from his brother, that his brother doesn't question the fact that he's on the throne. How did that come? I think he just allows so much of mental freedom to his team. So when before taking revenge, he asks everybody, "What do you think we should do?" Including to the newbie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? He
Exactly.
eventually did what he wanted to. He always wanted to take revenge immediately.
Yeah.
But then he heard everybody. And
And actually
in that
kept quiet till
collective
the
wisdom,
time.
everybody agreed.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying that I'm so sorry to cut you short, but actually heard everybody, and he wasn't about to do anything till the time Hamza sort of mentions that मैं होता तो अब तक बदला ले लिया होता.
I think if suppose Hamza had not said that, he would have still
Yeah.
maybe gone ahead and taken revenge. Because that's
Yes.
what he
Most
wanted to
probably
do in
after
his
the
heart.
election, but most probably after the election, because
Maybe,
that's
maybe
what
not.
struck
Like, I'll keep it an
what.
iffy. Maybe he would have still gone
Yeah.
ahead and because that's what he was
Hmm.
itching to do. What
Hmm.
Hamza did was help him change the narrative with the entirety. So everybody is
Yes.
in it. It's not like a top down.
Yeah.
It's like
Correct.
we took the decision. It's a
Decision. Yeah.
round table. It's not like
Hmm.
I told you to do it. कह
Yeah.
दिया तो बस कह दिया. It's not like that. It's like हमने डिसाइड किया है. अब जो भी हो जाए, जिएंगे या मरेंगे, हमारा अपना डिसीजन है.
Correct.
If things go south, I'm not going to blame you. Fortunately for them, the things don't go south. But had it gone south, it was not going to be a blame game because हमने सबने किया. So I think that was it. Then let's go to another negative character, Major Iqbal. Like, of course, he's and Rajum Rampal has done
Despicable.
a great job, but he's terrible. Like,
It's a
terrible
despicable
is the word.
character. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. But in spite of that, he goes back all the time to a very toxic house. He still
Yeah.
makes sure his father is taken care of. He hates him, but he like it's very hard to take care of an old parent, especially when the parent is not ready to cooperate. But he still continues to do that and stands by his daughter who's got Down syndrome.
Yes.
Right? It could have been shown to have multiple wives and multiple sons, but he's shown to stick by that child.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And so that shows some bit of respect. And then, of course, he's very respectful for his own cause. Till his last breath, even though we hate
Exactly. He
the
was like
words he's
Pakistan
speaking,
Zindabad. Yeah. Exactly.
right?
He mentioned that.
We hate the words that we listen, but he has
Yeah.
so much conviction. Like, I can be put to a gruesome death, but I will not give my cause up. How many of us can do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, then comes Jaskirat or
Yeah.
Hamza, whatever we want to call
Actually,
him.
before that, I actually have a question on Hamza, and
Sure.
we'll go deep dive into it. But just a minor bit, and I'll quote here because it's sort of then you can take a reference. So, and I'll mention a movie you haven't seen, which is Kabir Singh. So, in Kabir Singh, after Kabir Singh released, the director clearly mentioned that for him, like it has to be emotion, like the love and the emotional bit will be there if you can only slap, touch, kiss, or cuss a woman in public or in
Oh,
private,
I've not
and
heard
that's where you
this.
can and that's where you can see emotion. Now, the men in Dhurandhar are also like there are women surrounding them. They might not have a major role in the movie, but they have women around them and lovable women. Obviously, there are been issues that happened each of them. But how do you see this difference of respect towards women, because that's a very specific thing, and that's why I mentioned the line very specifically. He mentioned that in an interview,
I've
right?
not heard it, and I'm glad I have not heard it. So very recently, I heard like in one of the interviews, somebody say this, not from a Dhurandhar interview, but something else. Um, say नियत से नियति बनती है. Your intent decides your destiny, and before destiny, then it decides your thought process and your action. And I think this is something which almost every leader or motivational speaker in their own right talks about. your intent, your manifestation. This is exactly something which the Bhagavad Gita also touches upon. Intent. Right? आप भक्ति योग में नहीं आ सकते हैं तो कम से कम उसकी इच्छा रखिए. इच्छा रखेंगे तो वो कर्म में परिवर्तित होगी. अगर ये नियति ही ऐसी है कि आपने थप्पड़ मारना है और पिटाई करनी है और फोर्सेबली अपना कोट एंड कोट प्यार जताना है, तो आप और क्या दिखाओगे? बट आपका अगर आपकी नियत कुछ और है कि आपने ना कुछ अच्छा बनाना है, तो आपको फिर वो नेगेटिव चीजें ना थॉट्स आएंगे ही नहीं.
आएंगे ही नहीं. And
So maybe
actually,
the action is, the activity could be the same.
yeah,
Like look back in your own professional personal journey, sometimes the activity is the same. Like we've just finished Chaitra Navratra, and we, as a Punjabi, we do a thing called Ashtami, where we make chole halwa puri and share with kids. And the chole is made without any onion or any garlic or anything strong, but that food is like the best food you can have in the year. एंड क्योंकि उसमें इतना प्यार और इतना लगाव बना हुआ होता है, इतनी श्रद्धा होती है, तो वो नियत बहुत अच्छी होती है, इसलिए जो बन के आता है वो बहुत ही सुंदर होता है. सिंपल है. ओनम का खाना,
correct.
इट्स सच सिंपल
My
फूड.
God. Lovely.
रेड राइस
Sadhya.
एंड या लाइक ओ माय गॉड, दैट इज द मोस्ट डिलेक्टेबल फूड ऑन द प्लेनेट.
Yeah.
बट वो क्या है,
Yeah.
उसमें नियत अच्छी है. उसमें बनाने वाले की नियत अच्छी है, परोसने वाले की नियत अच्छी है, लोग बैठ के बात कर रहे हैं, हंस रहे हैं. तो अगर आपकी नियत टू, and I'm glad you made this comment. I think the intent with which I think both these movies have been made, even though both of them have multiple minutes of violence, there is blood
Yeah.
splatter, and I think Dhurandhar is a mission-based movie. The character has been given a task to deal with the terrorists. I think you said in your own video that whole one line where he says that I am against the terrorism in Pakistan, not the Pakistanis,
Not that.
which is so
Exactly.
true.
Yeah.
As common citizens, what problem would I have with, say, another lady like me in Karachi or Lahore?
Correct.
But of course, you don't want to see terrorist activities flourishing in any part of the world. Forget Pakistan.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that one line again. We'll get into the propaganda bit, but yeah, that's one line that sort of stayed with me, and I sort of mentioned that in almost all my videos, that one line sort of defines what the movie is all about. Like, if he
Exactly.
wanted to harm Yalina because she's a Pakistani, he could have done that. He never did that. He just wanted to focus on his mission. What is? It's obviously to destroy the terrorism nexus that exists in Pakistan. And that's what he focused on. So, and that's why I don't understand the propaganda, which will obviously come, and will try to understand your perspective as well. But going back, and he wanted to speak a lot about it, Hamza. Hamza, Jaskirat, his arc. What kind of a person do you see him as? Like, if you can just mention your thought process, because we can go on
I
and on.
think Jaskirat was just a regular guy in Punjab के पिंड का normal बच्चा था. Like his aspiration was to just go into the military. He's seeing drugs flourish around him, the sad part of Punjab. But he's like so many other Punjabi boys, he still aspires to be like the good soldier. And then the tragedy befalls, right? But in that massacre, also, if you see, he enters the room, he sees kids and women,
The woman.
are,
Yeah.
yeah, and he just walks off. Then he goes to the next room, there is a new bride. He
Yeah.
asks her where is this chap, I forget the name, and he doesn't even look up to her. He could have harmed her in so many ways.
Correct.
Like even just to look at
Exactly.
her would have been enough to put her in misery for the rest of life. But he doesn't even look at her. And then when he goes to, oh God, that thing gives me goosebumps. When he
Sure.
goes to meet his sister, when he opens that door, those eyes, and there is no look of, I'm the hero, I'm your savior, I'm here to protect you. Forget the dialogue. There is not even his body language. He's just shaking in pain, the same pain that she's gone through. I don't know. I'm like, I have some amazing men in my life. But for a man to be shown to be so in sync with that female pain, it is very rare. It is very rare. I mean, with all good intent, it is very difficult sometimes to empathize with that kind of a pain. And he does. I think kudos to both the director and the actor. The director thought of it and the actor could play it. Like, imagine how much of their feminine side they're in touch with.
Okay.
Like, the whole people, maybe not just the two of them, the people in the entire chain, the people who edited it, the people who gave the lighting, everybody maybe somewhere felt the same thing. To be able to deliver that one छोटू सा scene. Okay, then we move on. He's in the court. He's like, he tells his sister, finish your studies and leave this guy if he becomes an idiot. Right? So much like, you empower. It's not like Ja Simran ji le apni zindagi, though I love DDLJ, but it's like you have to finish your studies and then you decide. Don't think because your brother is not around, you can't take your decision. Just you be you. And he comes there, meets Yalina. I think everybody's saying that he's used a lot of his acting powers to entice her. Yes, I'm sure he did. But that whole relationship, somewhere, he's continued to respect her. He could have been driven by lust. He's not. He marries her, gives her the respect in that relationship. He's shown to, like in that song, take care of her and she's expecting the child. He gives her the house keys. Right? It's not like mera ghar. It's like tera ghar. And when they're having that party when Pinda is there, she can see, you better take care of yourself. There's a kid around. Like, she's the person running the house. She's the boss. Like, so many households, she's the boss.
Yes.
You will be king of Liari outside. I'm the boss here. And she
And you
lets
see
her
one
be.
scene, and then one scene also, I'm so sorry to cut you again. I just realized in few of the scenes, in the first part and the second part, when Yelena is upset with him, she either shouts or says things. He never raises his voice at all.
Oh, yes.
He never raises his voice. क्या तुम कैसे मुझे बोल सकती हो ऐसे? Never,
Correct.
ever. Basically.
Like, especially in the end, when she finds out about him, he doesn't go and say,
Yes.
how dare you look through my things?
Correct.
He doesn't say, तू पागल है, तू ऐसा कैसे सोच सकती है? A lot of men do, right? They've done something wrong.
Yes.
तो अलिया रख दिया वापस से. So how can you tell me to do that? Are you not? Can't you see मैंने नहीं करा है? Even when they've done it, they'll say मैंने नहीं करा है. But he accepts everything, and he sits down with her. He doesn't talk down to her. He talks with her. He respects her intelligence. तूने पता किया है, तूने अपना दिमाग लगाया है, तेरा दिमाग सही है. And he then expects her to be intelligent enough to understand the logic, and she does. She tells him that I told Omar. He doesn't scream at her. It's like, yaar, I understand you, teri kya majburi hui hogi. And in the end, when he calls her back after everything, that one Yalina, oh my God.
Oh my God. Seriously.
And it's not like, oh, I won. It's like, it's just like any husband. Like, मैं ठीक हूँ. It's like our dads do, no? पहुंच गए? हाँ, पहुंच गए. So many of our parents have this ritual, no? When dads are going somewhere or moms are going there, they'll just call back and say, हाँ, पहुंच गए. It's just that. I'm okay. And he gives her the freedom. तूने जाना है, तू जा. But he then again respects his mission enough to say कि मैं तो नहीं रुकूंगा. तूने जो करना है कर. I'm not going to stop you. I am no one to stop you. You don't need my permission. Like, ना मैं तुझे permission देता हूँ काम करने की. नहीं. तो you are your own person. You don't need my permission. But I am me.
Yeah.
It shows a relationship of two strong people who are good individually but are great together, which is not very often seen, especially in the movies. एक strong एक weak character होता है.
Yeah. And hence, how sad is it that they don't finally will not be ever together? Most probably, yeah.
Well,
Not.
I think life is not fair. वो कहते हैं ना किसी को
Yes.
मुकम्मल जहाँ नहीं मिलता,
Yeah, नहीं मिलता है.
किसी को ज़मीं किसी को आसमान नहीं मिलता. तो
The last scene, the goodbye final scene.
oh,
Yeah, I
it's
will
really
say obviously
difficult to
my bit, but
describe them in words.
yeah, yeah. You see, the song also changes. So when they were in Pakistan, or maybe just starting from there, it was all about a little bit Qawwali, Sufi, a little bit other, and obviously there was a like pop angle to it as well. But as soon as they come, like as soon as he was going to Pathankot, the Firse song happens, and then Arijit's voice, and then
Yeah,
there
there
is
is
a
a lot of
musical
Punjabi
string that happens,
folkism
which is
in that.
exactly how it changes, and I sort of very clearly I observed it. I saw it twice, by the way, in back to back 2 days, and then I sort of understood how it sort of changes the music. And that last scene, oh, I'll first let like request you to speak about it, and then I'll obviously showcase my feelings about how I really think about that particular scene. So how,
Uh,
like, what was going on in general.
okay, so I think that last scene has been it's not just one scene. I think it's a combination of a few scenes. So you see him, Madhavan first tells him, "You did good," which is like getting a 10 on 10 on in NPS.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people saying, "Ki, yaar, sirf did good." It's like meeting expectations. No, Baba. For somebody like a Madhavan, that generation to say you did good is like
Yeah.
is great. So he's got that. Now he's like, अब मुझे मेरा हो नहीं गया. Am I not going to get my life back? So
Yeah.
he tries that. He crushes those cigarettes, goes back to who he is. Had life been normal in the age of mid 30s, which is shown, he would have been a man like that, right? So he dons the Sikhi attire, takes that same second class का डब्बा. ऐसा नहीं है पैसे नहीं होंगे यार. फ्लाइट भी पकड़ के सकता था, गाड़ी कर सकता था और फर्स्ट क्लास के डब्बे में जा सकता था. पर वही सेकंड क्लास के डब्बे में जाता है. And goes home, but it's not home.
Yeah. It's not.
It's not home. Maybe it's like, how will they welcome a dead convict? Maybe if they've moved on, maybe it'll bring back all the pain which has somewhere healed. I don't know. And then when they put that Balidan Sarvodharm, sorry if I say it wrong. I don't
Param
know. I will
Param
not.
Dharma.
Yeah, I will not say it because if I say it wrong, it's disrespectful. But when they talk about sacrifice, I think it just underlines without saying that how much this character has given up and how much people like him who exist in real life give up every day so that we can talk like this.
So many
So
people like
that's
that.
a
We never
very
know.
very layered ending. Like I said, I'm not a student of cinema to do it justice.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
like I'll beg for forgiveness if I've
No. I
not
think the
given it.
insights that you have given, the second, the general class dibba that he went, the auto that he took, he went down. He saw the first house, by the way, where he killed 12 people. He saw the house and he
Yeah,
passed
yeah.
by. He saw that. That this is where everything changed for me.
For
Like, if
yeah.
I wouldn't have gone there, then obviously life would have been completely different. So this is where it changed, and then he got down. And those eyes, my God, I'll have to say this, and I wanted to convey, and my there was this comparison, Ranbir, always, and I always thought and think, I still think that Ranbir, and I don't think maybe right now, but Ranbir I felt was a better actor than Ranveer Singh. And I told yesterday and a lot of other people and to you as well that those eyes when he was looking, that wet eyes, tears are not falling properly, and looking at the mother and the sister, I sort of thought that he just attained God mode out there in terms of acting. And this last time that I saw was in Ranbir Kapoor in Rockstar, when he that Kun Faya Kun song happened and he looked upstairs,
I think some
like it is
characters
some,
they touch your
yeah,
soul differently.
yeah,
Even
it is,
especially for the people who are playing it, they're playing it like day in
yeah,
and day out. for years.
Yeah, such a
Like we've seen
stunning
4 hours of
performance.
it just, right?
Yeah,
And it's impacted us so much. For
so
them, they've
much.
been, I don't know how many days and hours of
Yes.
actually living it. So
Yeah,
what goes through them mentally, changes them mentally, we don't know. And maybe it for him it was like that, like you said, the God mode.
God. Yeah, I don't think there's
And I'm
again.
also very intrigued by the choice of the color of eyes. So
Yeah,
light
exactly,
blue eyes
exactly,
is not a very common phenomena in Punjabis. You see
exactly.
it
So
very much more common, say, with Kokanasta Brahmins, and
yeah,
in fact, sometimes in like at least I've seen this in Delhi that people will be like, "Oh, billi wali akha," like it's a unusual trait which people will mark out. But he's shown to have those light eyes, and those light eyes do the work.
it does, and it doesn't how.
I think in the both the scenes we spoke about with his sister and this end one, the light eyes do a lot of work.
Yeah,
There's so much.
I
I think we can keep talking about it.
and we can talk about the rest of the characters. I know we spoke that they can have their own spin-off series as well. So, like a mention about maybe Alam, Gaurav Gera, Rakesh Bedi for Jamil Jamali, maybe something around Major Iqbal, uh,
Yeah,
Rehman Naket for
if Aditya
short.
Dhar or his
Is
team is watching this, y- yeah, if Aditya Dhar
please,
and his team are watching this, please copy. Please copy.
please copy.
So
Yes,
yes, at least a 1 hour prequel series, like it can be a web series, a movie, whatever. But
yes,
like at least an hour for Jamil Jamali, an hour for Gaurav Gera, like you said, an hour. And if the big actors agree, how did Rehman the Cat become Rahman the Cat?
Rehman Naket.
How did like how did Chaudhry Aslam become so powerful? If the stars agree, but at least as Rizwan, what happens between Pinda and the sister, at least these smaller characters, they I'm sure you can make a web series, a 5, 6 episode series will
Yeah,
be awesome to have.
absolutely. And Muhammad Alam's character, Gaurav Gera, that ending of his, oh my god, so heartbreaking. So
I
he
could
just
not
mentions that,
recognize him in the first movie.
yeah, yeah, that's true.
And I kept thinking, this guy, Jassi Jassi koi nahi mein se, yahan tak, like,
The
I'm
casting,
sure he's seen
Yash
a lot
Chabra
of
loved, of
struggling days,
course.
but
Yeah,
yeah. Casting
Mukesh
was
Chabra's casting.
a lot of out of the box casting as well.
Yes,
Um, but I think very apt. Very, very
very
apt.
apt, very apt. Yeah, spin off
I don't know who you would
Aditya
replace.
Dhar if you see.
Sorry?
No, I was saying spin off Aditya Dhar if you're listening, please
Yes, if you're listening,
watch
Aditya,
this podcast.
please copy this. We will definitely watch it and
Yeah,
discuss it again.
absolutely. Yeah, I don't. We can go on and on, but yeah, we obviously have to finish now. I will answer this, but obviously we have touched a little bit upon it. But is Hamza's life a tragedy? Like, is Jaskirat Hamza? I don't know. Like, Jaskirat's life is a tragedy for sure. But what about Hamza's life? Like, is it a tragedy? Like, I know they are sort of the same character, but different personalities. Like, Hamza is a different personality, Jaskirat is a different personality. But is it basically a tragic character, like maybe one of the Shakespearean character that actually happens? It's a lot of depth I'm putting into this particular question, but I'm just thinking on the top, like, what does he attain at the end? He does not attain. Like, both his families, he can't go back.
Okay. I don't know how to like answer this in a very simple manner. So what we see on the screen and where it ends is of course not a traditional happy ending. In our minds, we've grown up watching Disney happily ever after endings. Life is not like that, right? Life is a series of tragedies and happy things. So I don't know whether his overall life will be a tragedy or purpose driven. And sometimes purpose gives you so much more, I think, non tragic instances in life. Maybe, see, I think it ends at where he's doing that training in underwater. So
Correct.
maybe he finds that very, very much bigger purpose. Maybe he'll not become like a Paramveer Chakra winner or like somebody who will go and win the Nobel Peace Prize or something. But then maybe he'll find purpose in more missions or training or whatever, or just rehabilitation of people like him. God knows what. Maybe he'll find that kind of a larger purpose,
And
and like so much good may come out of all the not
correct.
so good things that have happened in his life.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you because so far all his purposes were actually around family. The 12 people that he killed in that house was because things like a lot of brutal brutality happened with his family, and that's why he sort of picked up the gun and sort of killed those many people. Then when he was rescued, escaped, captured by Ajay Sanyal, Madhavan's character, then also he actually does it because there is a 30,000 rupees that is going to his family. That was the main purpose because of which he told that मेरे पास आपके लिए और कुछ नहीं बचा, बट जब बोला कि ठीक है मैं घर के लिए कुछ करूंगा तो तब जाके he also agreed, and also he was a patriot. Like he's a family like generation of patriots. His grandfather was an army, his father was in army. He wanted to become an army person. But right now the family thing is gone. So the purpose has to be absolutely for the country itself. And I think that's where he might find new purposes of choosing
Yeah,
new
and I
things,
think
maybe.
we got hinted about that in the very beginning as well, like of Jaskirat's not so happy journey. So he says that in this life, I'm going to avenge my family and I'm going to do my service to them. Next life, maybe I will do it for
Correct.
my motherland. So maybe this
Correct.
is the second chance where now
Correct.
that he's given his debt back to his family, his old family, he's seen at least that they're happy, settled, and moved on. And clearly, there is no coming back to the old Jaskirat. His own father in law tells him that you have to forget your wife and
Yeah.
son.
Just
That's the best for
imagine.
them. It's so painful for Jamil's character to say that. Like it's his own daughter, and it's
Yeah.
been shown so clearly that he's very fond of her. He's never said, "Oh, Mary beti, aja, I love you," but it's quite shown that
Yeah.
he has taken care of her well. So for him to say something like this, it was must have been very painful. But yeah, so those two doors are closed, like you rightly said. But then he's done his duty to them. So now maybe he finds that overall Sam Manekshaw kind of a purpose in doing something better.
Yeah.
So maybe that's his trajectory. Who
Hopefully.
knows? Maybe the
Hopefully.
next, maybe
Yes.
a sequel will tell us.
Ah, if there is one. If there is one. Again, Aditya, if you're listening, we'll take another few minutes more, but the whole propaganda issue is something that we wanted to discuss. And I have made a video already out of it. I've made a 4 minutes video. I
I've
think a
seen
lot of
that.
people have
Yeah.
seen that. I don't want to speak a lot, but what are your thoughts? Like, yeah, I just don't want to put words in your mouth, but please, like, what are your thoughts in general about this?
Okay, so maybe I will not talk specifically so much about the movie, but just a thought on the whole propaganda thing that is like so common now. So when my son was growing up, like he was before the preschool days, if he would pick up a word, he would keep repeating it. So he picked up the word awesome. So everything was awesome. Food is awesome. The sheets are awesome. The weather is awesome. Everything is awesome.
Yeah,
I think we are like that. We pick up a word and we keep repeating it. Sometimes it's something. I remember a few years back, Amir Khan had said something. It was a Hindi word and I keep forgetting it. And then we forgot about it. These days it's propaganda. So everything is propaganda. उसके कुछ सालों बाद कोई और वर्ड आ जाएगा फिर हम वो बोलेंगे फिर फिर ये प्रोपागेंडा नहीं रहेगा कुछ और रहेगा
exactly.
राइट सो ठीक है if it helps them make money out of it then so be it.
Okay.
I think good people will continue to do their work. Let's not fuel their fires. Let's focus on the good part. Let's be ready for this. Aditya says, no, you're not ready for this.
Yeah,
Now let's be ready for this.
ready for this. Yeah, completely. Yeah, I can go on and on, but yeah, I just want to put an end to it. Mitti pav. Yeah, or ye propaganda. Matlab,
Yeah, like I don't want to add more fuel to the propaganda discussion.
yeah,
I think it only empowers the wrong kind of people because the
wrong
right
kind of.
kind of people, let's just talk about the right things and their tribe will increase.
Exactly.
I think the best way to
Almost at
tackle
the end.
something like this is put more good stuff, and the bad stuff
Yeah.
should take care of itself.
Yes, yes. Increase more what I call it as your gut has bacteria, right? So your gut basically does the bacteria. So it increase the good bacteria and just reduce the bad
The bad
bacteria.
bacteria
So
will get managed. Yeah, that's a good way to put
yeah,
it.
yeah. Almost about at the end. So just one aspect that I wanted to learn, Shruti, you mentioned that you're a mother. You have a son. What would your son take away after watching this film? Like, what would young audience like the age of your son should take away from this film? The patriotism fact is obviously there, but is there anything else that you think that a person can sort of take out of this film, and specifically men in general?
Okay, so I know what my son took out of it. Is first thing is the music. I think it has stayed on with him, and day and
Yeah,
night. It has been like
the
since, I think, since
playlist, the new
November.
playlist.
It's been these songs on back to back, and especially because he's very fond of Punjabi music, and there are some
Uh,
very good reference points in this. Like he's already a fan of
yeah, yes,
Sartaj before. Sorry, Satinder Sartaj before this happened. So the first thing he's taken off is the music, which is good. A lot of music here is very intelligent.
yes.
The
And the positioning
remixes
of it as
or
well.
the positioning of the music is very intelligent, and intelligent use of things in narrative is something I think which is very important, especially for the Indian youth. We are not taught how to communicate in that manner. So if through a movie the kids can do that, they will. I think it will help them both personally and professionally. Right? I'm not getting into the esoteric right away because some of these tactical things also matter. Secondly, he's able to sit for 3 hours, 4 hours without phone watching that movie, which shows that what kind of a deep storytelling
Yeah,
does. We're all struggling with this common pandemic of kids spending too much time on the screen. Give them, and we can tell them to read books, go out, blah, blah, blah. If it doesn't interest them, engage them, they will not. Aditya Dhar did that. He's kept like a screen away time, if though they're watching a bigger screen, but they're not doomsday scrolling,
yeah,
right? And second, and the most part is, and I'm not talking about my son because I have a lot of other young kids in my family, some of them who've not grown up in India or have been a little too privileged to realize the impacts of some of these happenings of 2611, or were not even born when, say, Kandhar hijacking and all happened. But for them, happenings like these being really put into perspective from an Indian narrative, I think it helps. Many of them are used to now going back and fact checking. So even if, going back to your earlier question, if things have been tried to twist, they will go and read about it. They're much more aware about
exactly. Yes.
Leari gangs and all now because they've
Yeah,
gone and fact checked. They're the ones who are telling, no, no, this actually happened.
yeah,
Yeah. So I think that, and it then also kind of builds a habit that yes, I have to check a lot of stuff. So because there's going to be a lot of fake news in future. So patriotism and all, I think it can't just be done with one movie. It helps. I'm not going to deny that. All this narrative helps, but it's not just one movie that can turn the things around. But if content, intelligent content like this is brought more often, conversations will become more intelligent. So there is what is called as a wolf strategy, something which I had tried to implement within our teams. And the wolf strategy, there's not a lot of content about it, but I had been to a lecture with Devdutt Patnaik, and that's where I had heard about it. And I've, like I said, I've tried to practice it. So in the wolf pack, how does the pack of the wolf move? The person leading the pack is not the leader.
yeah.
So okay,
Correct.
the person leading the pack is like the old, most experienced person who will guide the way because they know the way. The pack works that way that the most strongest people are on the sides, so that if there is an attack, they can attack it. And then it goes from the strongest to the weakest inside. So the weakest, the youngest children, the elder, super elderly, or the sick are at the end, and you go from the strongest to the weak like this. So the weak are always protected. If something happens to strong number one, strong number two is ready to take over. And the leader walks at the back. The leader is not the strongest, not the sharpest, not the bravest, but somewhere high on all three qualities. And also, like, so he or she, sometimes it's a she also, will walk at the back of the back so that they can see everything what is happening. They can see the leader, they can see the weak, they can see the strongest, and can jump into play any role when required. If he's walking in the front, he will not know what's happening in the back.
Yes,
If he's
yes.
left, he will not know what's happening to the right. But he's at the back. And that's what, like, when we were doing digital marketing COE, that was my attempt. I don't know, we worked long enough together for you to be able to see it.
Right.
It was the idea. It's a very difficult strategy to implement because you have to keep your eyes and ears open all the time. You have to be ready to jump into anything all the time. But when it starts to work out, it works out amazing. You have to, and you can't depend on just one person, right? You have to have the
Yes.
whole pack. You have to have those strong one, strong two, strong three, strong four people who will defend from all the sides. But when it starts to work, it is amazing. Unfortunately, I didn't get enough time to pull it through, but it had started to come in place.
It will come to fruition somewhere or the other, I believe that.
But I am fortunate enough, at least I got a chance to attempt it and
Yes.
to share this thought with a few other people as well, that this is what I'm trying to do. And then I'm also glad it charged up people when I told them
Yeah.
that this is what I'm trying to do.
Agree.
Why did we talk about this? Sorry, I forgot.
Animal and alpha male. That's the
So the alpha male is that the leader at the back,
yeah.
right? The alpha male is not the strongest, the sharpest, the bravest, the most cruelest, nothing. The alpha male is somebody at the back who's managing everything.
Correct.
So if you were to see, the alpha male here is Sanyal.
Yeah.
He's at the
See.
back. He's managing. He's pulling the strings. Alpha male 2 is Jamil. Like that fat, plump guy. Bachcha hai tu mera. He's another alpha. Alpha 2. Because he's managing.
Yeah.
It's not, alpha male is not suppose somebody who will take the gun and, like, come on. You're not living in the jungle. Jungle has different rules. A civilized society has different rules. You can't bring the same rules there.
So that's it. I think we are almost done, and I don't think I have any other questions. If you have any final thoughts around the movie or anything for that matter that the audiences should know in general, if there is any,
Uh,
or else we can
if you
wrap
haven't
it up.
seen the movie, go watch it. If you have seen it, watch it again.
Yes, watch it as many times as possible. It's going to come in Hotstar, if I'm not wrong, in the month of May.
I
Obviously,
don't know
then
how
just
we're going to
enough
see
time
in the
right now.
US. And
Yeah,
just maybe a general request to people in US. The theaters are very silent. Please, जहाँ जरूरत पड़ती है वहाँ सीटी मारो.
City Maro, City Maro, City Maro. बात सही, एकदम सही. Thank you, Shruti. Thank you so much for this very insightful session. I can tell you people will love it. I'll position it at least like that. And I just can't thank you enough for giving the time to speak about the movie. It will enlighten so many people about what chili Dhurandhar is, more than just what people call it. Like a lot of people call it as propaganda. It's a lovely, well made, brilliantly
I've done
executed
this for the
film.
very first time. Thank you so much for letting me experiment. Like my whole life has been about weird experiments. When I told my husband, he was laughing, and I was like, "Did I do the wrong thing? Like I've
No,
never
no.
done something. He's like, करके देख क्या जाता है?"
Uh, I can
So who
assure you,
knows?
I don't have a lot of people who follow me, but I can assure you this will be a very, very insightful discussion because I at least felt that there are so many small insights that you have brought up. It will be extremely helpful for a lot of people, even after they have watched the film. So, thank you so much again. And thank you everyone for watching it as
Thank
well.
you.
And we look forward to the
All
next one.
the best to you as well.
Please continue to watch and support the channel if you can. But watch this for sure because it's a very insightful session. Along with the fact that Aditya there, please watch it. We have mentioned few things which will might help you to give fuel to your ideas to actually build new different positioning of stories of different characters. I think that might really help. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much again. And yeah, we'll
And
meet
if you
next.
like this conversation, please share, please, at least with one person, subscribe the channel for like some very weird and very different observations of movies. And you can hit the bell icon also so that you
Yes,
remember when things go on this channel.
absolutely. Thank you so much, Shruti. Thank you again.